Now I can do the same practice in writing this psi 0 in form of psi a0 and psi b0. So this will be psi a0 h prime and then psi a alpha times psi a0 plus beta time psi b0. We will do the same calculation and this will be alpha E1 is equal, alpha will come outside and this is psi A0 H prime psi A0, because when I will know the value of H prime then I can do calculation, plus it will become beta and psi A0 H prime psi B0. So I have written this in this form. Now I want to make it more compact, and in order to make it more compact I call this one like psi A0 H prime psi A0. Let me call this one WAA. W for this representation and this is AA, and let me call this one, this will be according to that notation, it will be WAB, like this is psi A and psi B here. So I can finally write that alpha E1 is equal to alpha times WAA plus beta times WAB. And this is, let's say, equation 1. I have just derived one equation here, and now I will do the same practice all the way with psi B0. So multiplying this equation which is here, multiplying this equation with psi B0 from the left and integrating. So what will happen to this one? Let me do it briefly. It will become psi B0, it will be psi 1. On this side it will be psi B0 and psi 1 and E0 will come, so there will be such kind of cancellation. Then when you will put the value of psi 0, then this value will remain as, means this will become 0, because here is psi B and here is psi A, so this value will become 0 and this value will become 1. So doing all this practice I will get that beta times E1, I will not do the calculation but I will write from the symmetry the direct result, and this is B beta E1 is equal to alpha times WBA, because here it was AB. AB was the reason that A was earlier, B was later. Here now B is earlier. So it will become BA and plus beta times WBB. And this is equation number 2. Now how many there are, you can say for any value of alpha and beta, but E1 is here and E1 is here. So now I'm interested in the value of E1. So I will take the value of E1 from one equation and will put into the second equation, and I will find the value of E1 from there. So doing this one, now solving for E1, solving for E1. So I will take value of E1 from one equation, and let's say I take equation this one, equation 1, equation 1 implies, from this equation I can write that beta times WAB can be written as alpha times E1 minus alpha times WAA. From equation 1 I can write like this, means this I keep here while this I move here. So it is alpha E1 minus alpha WAA. And now from this equation I can write, means now I will go to equation 2 and I can write that E1 times beta WAB. If I look here, then here I'm having AA value, here I'm having AB value, here is AB but BA, they are just, you can say the order is different, and B value here. From equation 1 I have taken the value of W beta WAB. Equation 2 I can write that if I do multiply equation 2 with beta with WAB, like multiply this with WAB, then what will happen? We will have, this will imply that, means with equation 2 I just multiply WAB, but keep in mind we will not have to reverse the order is supposed to be the same. So what it will be? It will become beta E1 WAB, beta E1 WAB, and is equal to alpha is a constant, so it will be WAB and WBA plus beta and WAB and WBB, right? What I have done, I just multiplied equation 2 with WAB, and then it is beta E1 WAB, and this is beta WAB and BB, just multiplied all the way along. And now I can put the value, now I can put equation 2, from equation 1 the value of beta WAB I have already derived. So now equation number means this equation, putting this equation in this equation for beta WAB value putting in this one. So we are having beta WAB here and beta WAB here. So this equation will become is, it will be or let me write it here so that we can save some space. This is E1, and then for beta WAB I will have to write this value, and this is alpha E1 minus alpha WAA, and is equal to alpha WAB WBA and plus, for WAB, beta WAB, let me write again this equation. So it is alpha E1. We will not change the order of multiplication, minus alpha WAA, and this will be WBB. So our equation has become like this. E1, then for WAB I wrote its value from this equation, and then alpha, this will come as it is, alpha WAB is as it is, while this beta WAB will come again the same from this equation and equal to this. So we have just developed an equation, and now I can write this equation further by just writing the value. Now you see that we have actually replaced beta, because AB is here, but we have got rid of the value of beta. So now our equation is only an alpha. So I can take alpha as a whole common. And if I take alpha as a whole common, then let me do few steps here. This is alpha WAA and WBB here. Here is WAA here. And if I look to this value, this is WAB into WBA. What about this one? Look here. What we have called WAB. WAB is psi A0 H prime psi B0. If I just reverse them, like I make this psi B and this psi A, then I'm doing what? I'm taking the conjugate of it. Because if you take the conjugate of this one, then this will become double conjugate and this single conjugate. So this will come early and that will come later. So it means from here that WAB is actually the conjugate of WBA. RWBA is the conjugate of WAB. So just changing their order. So what this will become? WAB and then WBA. So if you want to write it AB, then you will have to take its conjugate. Function with a conjugate of that function will become mod square of that. So it can be written as WAB mod square, right? It can be written as WAB, like WAB multiplied with WBA is actually WAB with conjugate of WAB, and it will be equal to the mod square of AB. Like when this is true, then this one is true as well, that AB conjugate is equal to WBA. Just the order is changed. So I have written it in this mod square. And now I will write this one. What this will become, if I do write this one, is the very first term. The very first term is E1, alpha E1 minus alpha WAA. So I can write this one, this equation is E1 and alpha E1 minus alpha WAA, and this term will go minus there. Minus, and this is alpha E1 minus alpha WAA, and here is WBB, plus this thing is then equal to this value alpha WAB, and WBA, right? Now I can take from this one if I take alpha E1 minus alpha WAA is common, then it will be E1 minus WBB, and this thing is equal to alpha, and WAB when multiplied with WBA, it will become WAB mod square. And now I can take alpha is common from all of them, and this implies that alpha is common, then E1 minus E1 minus WAA multiplied with E1 minus WBB minus, it will become minus, and WAB mod square, and this thing is equal to. Now I can write this equation further in this form, that if I do multiply it, means alpha times n, I do multiply this, so this implies that alpha and then E1 multiplied with this one first, so it will be E1 multiplied with E1 minus WBB and minus WAA multiplied with E1 minus WBB. It will be this multiplication, then minus WAB mod square is equal to 0. Now I can write this one is equal to alpha and do multiply it, E1 squared minus E1 WBB minus E1 WAA plus WAA WBB. So we got our four terms here, minus WAB mod square is equal to 0. Now I can combine the terms in E1. E1 is the variable I am finding here in this equation. So I can write that alpha times E1 squared minus WAA plus WBB and times E1, because I have taken minus is common, WAA plus WBB, E1 is common, and plus WAA WBB minus WAB whole square is equal to 0. Now there is, you know that the alpha multiplication with this one is equal to 0. What if alpha is non-zero? Then it means that this equation is equal to 0. For alpha equal to non-zero, it means this equation is equal to 0. So this equation implies that E1 square minus WAA plus WBB E1 plus WAA WBB minus WAB mod square is equal to 0.